Okay, everybody. So today I'm not going to be with you guys, but what we're going to do is that we're going to continue working on our Gantt chart. Remember that our Gantt chart is going to allow us to plan kind of like the project from the start to the end. So it's important that you guys gather around with your teams because today you're going to discuss several things that are going on and decide on when things happen at different times. So please take a moment to open your documents. Everybody should open your documents, and you're going to discuss a couple of things. Now, remember, I told you that on the first column we're going to have the task. Now, for this project, we're going to have several tasks. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to write down a task, and you might turn that task into two or three different tasks. Okay? And after we complete all the tasks that we're going to do in this project, you guys are going to select the dates. Now, it is important that you select the dates that we have class. Okay? And you can look that on your Google Calendar, or we will see that in a minute and tell you which ones are there because you have to take into account which are the days that we have actually class. And it doesn't matter because you will be able to add some more dates if you want to work on different days of the week or even the weekends. Okay. So one of the tasks that we need to cover, and it's extremely important. It doesn't matter the order of the tasks with the timing. It just matters all the tasks, and try to put as much as you can. One of them is designing, designing, printing, and implementing the bumpers for your robot. Now, remember that the robot is going to have some bumpers. Now, I'm giving you this task, and you might turn it into three different tasks. So you might say, okay, so designing the bumpers is one, designing bumpers is one. Then printing or 3D printing the bumpers is another one, and finally, just assembling all the bumpers and trying them out. And let's try them out. Okay, so we turn one task into three different tasks. And after you have these three tasks, which are very important just for the bumpers because you guys are in charge of designing the bumpers, then you can decide when to do this. When is the appropriate time to do this? Now, another thing that it's important is all the part that has to do with the electronics. So in the electronics, you might want to say, okay, we are going to wire the new radio frequency system. Now, this requires just wiring all the thing on the robot and then on the controller. And then we can say wire the controller and battery. So that would be two more tasks that you're going to need to do. Then you're going to say, okay, we're going to add the program to the receiver and then add the program to the transmitter, which are the two elements that we need for our robot. Okay, so look at all the tasks that we're doing. Then you might say, okay, now it's time to design the controller case. Okay, so remember the remote control might have a case and you have to design it. Then you're going to print the controller case and assemble the controller. That is your design and that is your option. You can do this in one day, several days. It depends on what you choose. Okay? Another task that we need to do technically is everything that has to do with cable management. Now, you don't want all those cables like going around on your robot because it's not going to work out. Okay, and when you start like using your robot on every round, then some of these cables might loose. And you want them to be steady. You want them to always be your robot to be consistent. So you want a lot of cable management, and that means that you need to tie them up and see where you can put them around. After you finish with the cable management, we are going to start thinking about now the business and marketing part. Okay, the business and marketing part, as you can see, all the business idea has several steps. Now, you can't do all the steps at the same time. So, the business idea, which is a big task, we have to break it down into different pieces. The first one is the marketing plan. Now, the marketing plan will take a while. Then we have um, the administrative and administrative plan. Then we have the technical and environmental plan, and then we have at the end our financial plan, which is extremely important uh, for your business idea. Okay. Now with this, you are going to be able to conclude a bunch of things. So if the marketing plan has another task, like let's say the marketing plan has four more tasks, then what I'm going to do is that I am going to add um, a couple of like steps. I can just right click and insert one above. Then I can insert another one and say, okay, the marketing class has several. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to click on a little hyphen right over here, or a symbol that shows me that this is part of the marketing plan. So the marketing plan requires, I don't know, the economic sector analysis. Okay. This is part of the marketing plan, or another part of the marketing plan is the social media and different posts. That's another one. And you can turn one plan into several plans. The more tasks you put, it's going to be easier for them to achieve. And that way you know who is responsible for what. It is important that you always say who is responsible for each of these tasks. Okay. At the end, you will have a complete business idea presentation. This is something that you guys have to do, and your sales pitch. Now, the sales pitch is something that when everybody will present, you'll present the whole idea, like your business, the numbers, everything that you have. Plus, you will show the performance of your robot on a real game. Okay. Now, make sure that everything you do is documented. Before you complete this, it is important that you go and share this with me. Now, tomorrow, like today, what you're going to do is establish um, maybe an option, or kind of like a probability for you guys to complete this. Now, it's important that you decide when are we having class, and for that, we're going to look at the schedule. Okay, so looking at the schedule, we have class on day B, then we have class on day D and E. So we're going to look at some of the dates, or important dates that you need to take into account because you have to do something during class and it has to be programmed and planned. So we have B, so tomorrow, oh, okay, so tomorrow is Thursday, 21st, and that day we have class, okay? So we have D, so it's basically Thursday and Friday. So we have Friday 21st and um, sorry, April 22nd and April 21st. So I'm gonna write it down right over here so you guys know what I'm talking about and you can see the dates. I'm gonna just write them down here. So we have April 21st, we have April 22nd. These are the dates. These are not the tasks. This is just for you guys to remember what days we have class until the end of the project. Okay? Then we have class. Let's see if I put this over here. And then we have class on, um, we said B, D, and E. So we have class on the 26th. So April 26th. April 26th, and then we have class on April 28th and 29th. So we have April 28th and then April 29th. See, all these days we have class, okay? Then we're going to jump into May, and in May we have May 3rd, and then we have May 5th and 6th. So we have May 3rd, May 3rd, we have May 5th and May 6th. These are the dates that we have. Um, then we have May 10th and then May 12th and 13th. So we have May 12th, May 10th, sorry, then May 12th, and May 13th. So that's what we're doing. Then we have, again, May 17th, and then May 19th and 20th. May 17th, and then we have May 19th and May 20th. Then here, we're going to have a little change like during this week. Then we have the 24th, the 26th, and 27th, May 24th, then May 26th, and then May 27th. And then here on this week, on June, we start on June 1st, and then June 3rd. So we have June 1st, and then June 3rd. It has a little change because this is a holiday. And then finally, we have June 6th and June 8th. So we're going to leave it there. So we have June 6th and we have June 8th. Okay, so these are very important dates. These are the ones that we have actually a class. It is important that you plan for those days. So there has to be a mark on each of them. So let's say on April 21st. So April 21st, which is today, we are going to start, I don't know, we're going to start or continue working with our plan. So as you know, I'm going to just add here, and I say finish completing our project plan. And here, even though it's in progress, if it's in progress, you remember that your progress shows orange. Uh, Something that hasn't started will be red, and something that is completed is green. Okay. Now you can make this. Okay. So let's say I'm going to finish completing our project plan throughout the weekend. So I say, okay, Thursday and maybe Friday, and then if you want to add some days on the weekend, it's fine. Okay, now when they're completed, you turn them into green. It is important that you put everyone who is responsible for this, okay? And take into account the dates that you have. And you can pause and kind of like just work on your project plan. And remember, share it with me because this is graded, okay? This is going to be graded. Your project, your project plan.